review of Escape from Monkey Island. Escape from Monkey Island on the PC, to be specific, released in the year 2000 by LucasArts. It's actually the fourth game in the series, which most of you probably know that already. If I'm to be honest with you, I haven't actually played the first three, which is quite bizarre because I'm quite a fan of the genre, even though the game states it's adventure genre game. Let's just call it what it bloody well is. It's a point and click game without any point in the clicking, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever, but the concept is the same. Anyway, so it came out on PlayStation 2 also a year later, but hey, we're not talking about the PlayStation 2 version, we're talking about the PC version. So, what should we start with? Crikey, I don't know. Let's just go a bit of the story, shall we? Basically, you're Guybrush Threepwood, and you've just come back from your honeymoon with your missus. Basically expecting everyone to be there all kissing ass, but no one turns up because apparently you're dead, which is fair enough storyline. Firstly, I'll apologise during this review if I say something that might sound off in relation to previous games. Like I say, I haven't played them, so hey, if I say something that don't make sense, just let me know. Right, the gameplay is, like I said, it's basically a point and click, just without the pointing and clicking. It's all keyboard interface. You don't need to use any mouses. You probably can use the joystick. I wouldn't know. I'm pretty sure you can because there was an option in there to switch, but the controls that I'm using are the keyboard. The controls are alright. Whilst we're on the subject, one of the problems I do have with the controls is the running. Now, you may wonder what I'm on about, but when it's more noticeable is when you get out onto the map screens, and this is one of my biggest bloody complaints. You try running, you come out, and you think, right, that's kind of up, I've got to go, so I'm going to turn him round, face that way, press up and run. The trouble is, 99 times out of 100, you'll probably end up doing this little U-turn thing, and you'll go back on yourself. Now this might not be annoying on the first island, second island, but once you get to the last island, yes, Monkey Island, spoiler maybe, but hey, it's a bit obvious where you're going in it. This can become a pain in the ass because there's so many little places you can go on the island. You want to just go to where your destination is, and you end up popping into somewhere else. But that's one of my major complaints. But to be honest, I quite like the game. Like I say, I'm quite a big fan of point and clicks, and it's actually probably the only type of genre that I really play on the PC, barring one MMORPG, which I'll get to at a later date. The thing that makes this game great, as it does with many other of its type, is the storyline is alright, but it's the humour. I mean, there's so much, little puns put in here. They've got little things hanging around, like Star Buccaneers Cafe, and Planet Threepwood, which you get to when you get to the third island, Jumbalumba, whatever it is. Graphically, the game's quite good actually, but then very rarely they're not very good on these type of games because there's not a lot of fast action moving around, so the game doesn't have to put up with much. The gameplay itself, like I said again, going back, is just basically point and click. You find objects and you have to use objects in different places in order to progress in the game. Some of them are obvious, some of them not so obvious, and some of them are commonplace in this type of genre, whereas why would you do that? It's obvious I have to do it because I've just tried 1,000 other things, but why would you do it? Who knows? one of the things that is good in this game, which is quite fun, is some of the mini games. Kind of, there's actually only really one. You could say two, because at the beginning you get to do a bit of insult arm wrestling, but that only lasts for a wee minute or so. And there's also the Murray one if you know how to get it. Um, but I think one of the best ones there is got to be Monkey Combat. Um, Great game, great mini game. It's, you know what? It's so much fun. To be honest with you, I mean, it's obviously a take on Mortal Kombat, but it's just so good. I mean, you just got to work out the combinations, how to change your stances by making monkey noises, which we'd all secretly love to do, even though none of us will admit it. Well, I will. I'll be the first to admit it, and then you can all post YouTube videos and all kinds of videos in response saying, yeah, I'd like to do it as well. Which you probably won't, and I've just made a complete tit of myself. Um, the game review received mainly, you know, positive kind of reviews. It wasn't in 100%, but you know, low 80s, mid 80s, which is quite good for a computer game. Even though, personally, I think nowadays they tend to throw fucking 100% at games for the sake of it because it's got a following of people. But you know, I won't get into that. You know, it's the technical aspects. They were mainly praised, and the voice acting, and it is some funny stuff. I mean, the guys, you know, they do well to come up with some of the stuff they do in these games. You know, it makes you giggle, and that's what you want from a game. Sometimes you don't want all to be about going around blowing people's heads off and stuff. You know, not that there's anything wrong with that. Like I say, everyone's got their own preference of what type of games they like to play. But you know, it adds to the fun and it adds to the humour as this does here. This Monkey Combat, which I'm about to initiate. Let's have a quick look at this because it should almost be time for me to go. When he's finished talking to the monkey, or whilst he's talking, oh, here we go. On guard, I say. On guard. Look at that. That's just, isn't that truly amazing? You know, I know what you're all thinking. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic and taking a piss, but it really is quite fun. It's a bit crappy playing it in its own right, but it's actually getting to learn all the moves. You have to fight other monkeys first to learn, you know, all the different ways of getting the different moves and that. But yeah, I think this just about wraps it up for this game, to be honest with you. One thing that I will say, I was just quick one. I was reading on Wikipedia the other day that there was talk in 2002 of Monkey Island 5 coming out, but that's kind of dropped off the shelf as many a game does these days. One of the directors joked that he'd been making the game in 2015, but I think he was just fucking with us. But that's about it for me, so I hope to see you next time. Take care. I've been the MAINEIE-G. Be safe.